Schmidt's News Center 7.
And in Beaver Creek, the city found out its street levy passed by more than 100 votes. Now, there was an official recount because the vote count was so close last month. Money from the levy will help cover the cost of street work, and it will also pay for 5 additional employees to do the work on the streets there in Beaver Creek. Let's say you're on a commercial flight and there's an emergency. You think you could get out in 90 seconds in D.C.? Some lawmakers, they do not think so. And now they're pushing a new plan which would force the FAA to expand its testing. Current evaluation testing does not include children, elderly, or disabled people being on board.
You have to line up, in many cases, like cattle calls, getting in, sitting in seats that in some cases cause challenges. Look, this whole experience has to be looked at cumulatively.
Various flight attendant and pilot unions like the idea of expanded testing, and so do disability advocacy groups. The FAA is also looking at seat sizes to make sure passengers are safe. And deadline to ship those holiday gifts for the post office, FedEx, and other delivery services, it's getting closer and closer. That's because Christmas falls on a Sunday this year, and people might have to mail cards and packages even earlier. At FedEx, the last day to mail those gifts for ground delivery is tomorrow, folks. For the post office, it's Saturday. And as always, next day shipping is available, but you're going to pay for it. And a new consumer report found for the first time in almost a year, inflation has eased up a bit. But keep in mind, it's still about 7%. Compare that to 9% in June. When it comes to your money, an economist said it means lower prices for the essentials like food and gas. Tonight, I checked whio.com's Pump Patrol, and I saw a station selling gas for $2.50 a gallon.
As we move forward in the next year, prices are going to move back towards what can be better be described as generally stable.
And we are watching as the Federal Reserve expects to raise interest rates again this week, hoping it further drives down inflation.
And now, your Storm Center 7 forecast with meteorologist Chaney.
As I said just a few minutes ago, tracking this storm system that's kind of rolled across the country, and now it's kind of knocking on our door. A lot of us are going to hear that rain while we're sleeping tomorrow morning.
Great sleeping weather. It'll be the kind of weather that makes you want to stay in bed, I think, for sure. And tomorrow will be one of the soggiest days that we've seen in a while. We've talked about the clouds. Those have been never ending. But they just haven't done much so far this month. Different story tomorrow. So that rain's coming. Here's a live look right now into Greenville this evening where we do have the cloudy skies, but obviously no rain quite yet. So if you're going to take another walk with the dog tonight before you go to bed, I think you'll be in fine shape. Here's where that rain is at. It's still out to our west, marching on through parts of Illinois right now, just now crossing into Indiana. It's all part of that big storm system we've been talking about all day. That purple line on your screen is technically called an occluded front. It's going to do the same purpose as what a cold front would do for us. It's going to increase our rain chances as it starts to move into here during the early morning hours. Now, for now, we are just dry and cold. 37 degrees for us here in Dayton, 34 there in Troy. Some folks flirting with freezing. I expect by the time that the rain rolls in, temperatures will be generally in the middle 30s. So I'm not expecting winter weather, no icing problems as this rolls in, but it's going to be a cold rain by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. So let's go through your forecast. Get to the bus stop tomorrow morning, 36 degrees with widespread rain. They'll want the rain gear and a couple layers to keep them warm as well. And that'll be helpful not only during the morning, but also during the afternoon, because this rain is just not going to quit tomorrow. Here's a look at Futurecast. 4:30 in the morning, a lot of us are still dry, but that'll be the last bit of dry time for the day. Widespread rain rolls in for the morning commute. I think that could be heavy in spots as well, especially down south and southwest of Dayton. So be sure to check in with the Daybreak team tomorrow morning, 4:25, and they'll let you know how the traffic conditions are looking out there before you drive off to work. Midday tomorrow, that first push of widespread heavy rain starts to lighten up a bit, but you see we're not dry by any means. And then we go to bed tomorrow night, widespread rain again. All of this is going to add up to probably 3/4 of an inch to ½ inch of rain before it's said and done. It gets out of here by sunrise on Thursday, but then after that we'll start to turn our attention to the even colder weather. Now tomorrow's forecast temperature-wise is just a chilly one. 30s in the morning, and then it's a very slow climb. You see, by about 10 o'clock tomorrow night, we actually haven't even hit our high temperature for the day. That'll come closer to 11 or midnight tomorrow. So we spend most of the day tomorrow in the low to mid 40s. Again, dress warmly and try to stay dry as you go about your day. Now, once this system moves out, here comes the first semblance of some real winter weather back to the Miami Valley. Cool air is going to be displaced by cold air. So high temperatures are going to return down to around the freezing mark for the weekend, but we get even colder past that. So this is going to be the start of a big pattern change across the Miami Valley. 10-day temperature outlook, 40s the next couple days, freezing for the weekend. Then look at next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, just trending even colder, highs in the 20s, lower 20s by the following Friday. So, yeah, this is going to be a pattern change that we feel. You may not want it, but it's on the way, I can promise you that. 7-day forecast, rainy and windy tomorrow, drying out on Thursday, trending colder Friday. No major snow chance, but we could see a few snow flurries on Saturday, and then just staying chilly past that all the way through next week.
Right, sir, thank you. It's being called a major breakthrough in how we could use energy here on the planet. We're going to look at how this might all work in the years to come.